Hi there, it's Megan here. Thank you so much for purchasing the template for the race recap. I'm going to do a quick walkthrough video for you now so that way you know exactly how to use it and can edit it super quickly. So the first thing you'll see is this window that says a template created by Megan Meyer was shared with you, and then click on the purple button to start designing it. This is on a website called canva.com. and it is absolutely free, so it will probably ask you to log in or create a sign up. It's totally free. They do have options to do what they call a pro plan to upgrade. You do not need that at all for this. That's only if you want to use specific templates that they have, or like stock imagery or videos or fonts that they have inside of the program, but you totally do not need that for this. So it is a 2-page document, and I will show you really quickly now how to use it. So everything in red is what you need to edit, and then the items in black, you don't need to edit it other than the box right here. So first thing to do is to put the event name in here. So pretty simple, straightforward. The date, location, and driver, or if you have multiple drivers for that event. And so very simple. All you have to do is click on the text box. You'll see it has that purple outline, and then if you just double click, it will let you select the text. So you know, whatever the event name is that you have that you just finished up, you can put that in here. And then I would just change that text color to black, or if you have any specific color from this list you want to choose from, or you can add your own brand colors here if you want to, and you could even, you know, like change the color of these boxes to your brand color, or there is like some gradients down here that you could choose from. So you can definitely customize this to look however you want it to, so that way it fits your brand and your style. You can also change the fonts. So if you go up here and click on this drop down menu, you'll see it has all of these free different types of fonts you can choose from. So super awesome to be able to change that. So the next thing over here is this black box that is a button that says download photos and videos to post. So this is where you would link to either like a Dropbox folder or a Google Drive folder, or somewhere on a cloud service that has a link where you can drop all of the photos and videos you took from your race, put them all in there, and then include a link to be able to have the companies that you are sending this to go there, download them, so that way they can post and share about you on their pages, because it's going to be much harder for them to maybe try to reach out to the track photographer to get that. They probably won't ever do that. So if you don't send them the content, they won't post it. So this is the best, easiest way to do that. So all you'll have to do is just add a link to it. So what you can do is click on it, and then you can do a right click and go here where it says link. And this is the keyboard shortcut. So if you are on a Mac computer, you can do the Command K. And then this is where you'll just get that link from Dropbox or Google Drive. Make sure it is one that could be public, so that way you'll just copy that link and paste it here. And make sure you do it on this text, and then also on this black box as well. So again, just right click and link it, so that way they can just click on that and it will take them to that folder. So scrolling down, the rest of this is pretty simple and straightforward. Qualifying results, so put your position and your time. Racing results, you know, this could be for all different types of motorsport. So just put how you finish there if you do multiple rounds, like in drag racing, or if you're doing like heat races and then main event. So just put your results there. And if you need to make these boxes taller, you can. If you need more room, you can just drag them and make them taller, but then remember, you will just have to like move these down and make it shorter to be able to fit if you have more text. The next two are very important, and so this is your press and media headlines, and then your press quote. So this is, like it says, a list of press and interviews pre-race and post-race that you did, and make sure you include hyperlinks. So if you did a podcast, if you did a TV interview, if you did a newspaper or anything that's online that you can link to, make sure you link to that. If it is something print like newspaper or a magazine, sometimes they do have the articles online as well, so see if you can get that. If they don't, if it's only in print, then make sure you get the contact information from that publication, and make sure that they send you a few copies when it is printed, and so that way you could take a picture of it and then include that in your Dropbox folder, or you can also definitely include it in your proof of performance report, which is another template that I have here. Now, not all series has press and media. Maybe, sometimes you are responsible for reaching out to those publications or those people to ask them to interview you. So maybe you haven't done that yet, or maybe your series doesn't offer that. So what you can do is link to your social media posts, though, because that does technically count as media. So what I also like to do is just whatever has been my best performing post during that event. So whether it was like the pre-race hype, so like the couple days leading up to the race, or during the actual race weekend, I will link 1 or 2 or 3 of my best posts that we had during that event, even if it wasn't a specific like promotional post for a company. Maybe you just did a video that showed like a get ready with me, and it did really well, so definitely include that on there. And then for press quotes, this is so important, because what I have had happen is I'll include a quote from the driver, so whether that's myself or one of the drivers on our team, I'll do a quote that summarizes thoughts and highlights during social media. And then what I've had sponsors do is they will take that and copy and paste that into a caption on their social media post, or they'll use it in a company email newsletter that they have. So it's really great to include a quote in here. Even if you didn't do like a real interview, you can pretend like you did and include it on here for that sponsor, or hopefully you're sending this to multiple sponsors, so that way they could use your quote and post it online or post it in an internal circulation. And then social media statistics. So I have on here for Facebook and Instagram. If you are not on those, then obviously just change out the FB or the IG. Maybe you have Twitter or YouTube. If you have more than Facebook and Instagram, if they do really well for you, then I would, swap them out or include them in here. If they don't do well for you, so maybe you have TikTok, but maybe it just has no growth on there, then I probably wouldn't include that on here. So because it probably didn't get much impressions or engagement or video views. So just pick your 2 best platforms that you are on, which honestly you don't need to be on more than 2 platforms, but pick your best 2 and just go through your analytics really quickly and look at the posts that you did, again, leading up to the event and then during your event or your race, to gather the total number of impressions, engagements, and video views. So this will probably be the longest part on here, between the social media statistics and getting links to any interviews that you did. That will just take the longest out of all of this, but honestly you can have this whole thing done within an hour. And then once you get it like a routine of how to do it, it will be super, super quick to get these knocked out and sent out to your sponsors as soon as you can after your race. And then at the bottom, you just have your date, location, your schedule for your next race, and then currently where you are ranked at in points position at the end of this event. So hopefully you are, top 10 up there and going up. So the next page is screenshots. So this is where if your series offers a live coverage, this is amazing to go through and get some screenshots of when you were on screen, when you were on the broadcast. So if you aren't able to do this yourself, because obviously you're busy driving, you're racing, have a niece or nephew or a son or daughter or an aunt or uncle or someone on your team, see if they could do this for you. So if you have someone at home that could watch the live coverage, and then, you know, if it is just on their phone, that would work perfectly fine for them to just take a quick screenshot of it, and then they could send them to you in a message, or have like that Dropbox folder they could upload them to, and then you can include them on here, because it just shows that, hey, you are getting attention from your series. It could also be, you know, those interviews that you did, any type of press or media that you've gotten, that you could get just a screenshot of, that shows like your picture and or your name like in the headline, of how you are getting yourself out there, getting some more exposure and attention outside of what you do yourself, like social media and racing. So you're probably wondering, why are these just pictures of landscape? Well, this is the default for what's called a placeholder block here on Canva. And what you would need to do is upload your own photos. So I have, this is just a logo here, but I'll go and pick a photo really quickly here. So let's go to my pictures. So let's just pick this photo. So let's say this is a screenshot that I got from, you know, one of our races, our last event, even though it is just a regular photo. But I'm just showing you how to upload a picture, and then all you have to do is literally drag it and drop it to which box you want it in. So maybe I'll do that one there, that one here. And what you'll notice is it does kind of cut it off, because this is a fixed box. So if it doesn't fit, you can always resize. And you know, these are very like evenly spaced on here, so if you do resize, you might have to change them around a bit to make it look good. But all you'll have to do is just like drag the side if it is, you know, wider than this, or if you need to make it shorter, you can do that. So it's very easy to just resize it by doing that. But feel free to duplicate this page if you need to add more. So all you would do is press on this button right here to duplicate it, so you could have this exact same thing if you need to add more screenshots. Or maybe you don't have any live coverage, you don't have any media. What you could do is then just delete this page, and then you would just send this one page by itself. So once you are all done, there's two things you need to do. First, you need to rename the document, which I should have had you do that first before you changed anything else. So what you would need to do is go up here in this box where it says copy of race recap template. Change that to be your event name, race recap, and you could also include your name in there as well. So that way, when you send this file to your partners, they see exactly who it's coming from and what event it is recapping. So once you are all done with it, and like I said, it shouldn't take you more than an hour, and once you get a routine of how you do it, it'll be super, super easy to do this. So when you're all done, you would click on the share button, and then there's two ways I recommend sharing this. What you could do is a public link, and so this just makes it a presentation online, so you can click that and then click the button to get the link. And so I'll show you what that looks like. So this is literally just a presentation that they would go through. They can go through and like click on this button to go to your Dropbox folder. They could click on any links you include here, or what you could do is send it as a PDF. And so you would just do download, change the file type to PDF standard, and then download it. Again, make sure you change the name before you download, because it will save it as that file name. And that's it. So feel free to use this as many times as you need to. Feel free to change it. Make sure you change the colors. You can change the fonts. You can add your logo. You could add a sponsor's logo on there. Again, it would be super easy. You just click and drag and drop, and then you can resize so that way it fits. So maybe you want to add your logo right there or something, who knows. But this is now your template. You can change it however you need to. And if you have any questions at all, please send me an email. I'll include my email address below this video, or you can leave a comment below this video and I will get back to you as soon as I can.